Hello, and welcome to the third public meeting for the I-475 Planning and Environmental Linkages, or PEL study. Today, we will discuss the feedback we received and the evaluation of alternatives that led to an acceptable alternative. First, we will review the I-475 project process, the feedback we've received to date, the purpose and need of the project, and the preliminary feedback on each design alternative. Then, most importantly, we will share the results of the evaluation of alternatives and traffic analysis. This is where we are looking for your feedback on what you think would work best for I-475 and the community. Finally, we'll share the next steps for the project and where to submit your feedback before the PEL study is finalized. The I-475 project began with a $300 million investment commitment from the Rebuilding Michigan Bond Program to rebuild 8 miles of I-475. As MDOT began the project development process, we heard the community's concerns about the corridor and desires to improve the facility as part of the project. To address the concerns and comments that were received from the community, MDOT made the decision to take a step back in the process and initiate a PEL study for the length of I-475. The PEL study is one phase in the corridor project process. The conceptual planning for the corridor and implementation plan were the first phase. We are now conducting the PEL study with the end goal of identifying an acceptable alternative or alternatives to move into the environmental and design studies. This is followed by construction planning and finally ends with construction as the final stage. The I-475 PEL study limits run from I-75 in Mount Morris Township south to I-75 in Grand Blanc Township. To facilitate development and future construction, the corridor has been broken into 3 segments: north, middle, and south. The north segment, shown in blue, covers the area north of downtown from the Flint River to the North Saginaw Street interchange. The middle segment, shown in orange, is focused on downtown and covers the area from the I-475 I-69 interchange to the Flint River. The south segment, shown in green, covers the area south of downtown from Hill Road to the I-475 I-69 interchange. The I-475 PEL study is at the stage of evaluating alternative corridor designs. Your participation has helped us progress to this point in the project. The final LAC-BAC meetings will take place in late summer, and the final PEL study report that identifies an acceptable alternative design for the corridor will be delivered in the fall. MDOT processes are inclusive, and we will identify reasonable alternatives based on public and stakeholder engagement throughout the screening process. Since the first public meeting in September 2021, we have received valuable feedback from the community. For every public meeting, we have also launched an online option to accommodate more feedback. The local advisory and business advisory councils were established early in the project and continue to provide additional guidance and feedback from the community. MDOT has also continued to meet with key stakeholders, neighborhoods, and anchor organizations along the corridor. These one-on-one meetings have been a great resource for valuable insight on how the corridor is used and what impacts it has on locals. The project purpose identifies the transportation problem that will be addressed. The purpose should identify an acceptable alternative that will address the deteriorated conditions of the highway system's infrastructure, prioritize the safe movement of people, including transit and modes of active transportation, such as walking and bicycling, connect neighborhoods with cultural, institutional, and commercial activity centers, and support more economic development opportunities. The project needs define the components of the problem. The proposed project will address the following: deteriorated bridge and road conditions, some of which are nearing 50 years of age, right size infrastructure to match need and declining population, lack of safe, direct east-west vehicular and active transportation connections. Prior to the March public meeting, MDOT identified 4 preliminary design alternatives that we are looking for feedback and comment on. These alternatives can be used in total, be modified based on public comment, and have elements from multiple alternatives combined into another alternative. These alternatives include a no-build alternative. Doing nothing is an option that is always evaluated through the process and creates the baseline for comparison. A modified existing freeway alternative, a reduced footprint freeway alternative, and an urban boulevard alternative. The alternative that received the most positive feedback from the community and was found to best meet the project purpose and need through the evaluation process was the reduced footprint freeway alternative. This alternative fits the population and traffic of today's I-475, has increased safety benefits, and will create less disruption to travel during construction. The urban boulevard alternative also had some support, but ultimately, much of the community feedback about it was concerned with disruptions to travel, increased accidents, and noise. The objective of the evaluation process is to identify which alternative best fits the purpose and need. The reduced footprint met all evaluation criteria for the study purpose and need. The green bolded text on the slide are the areas where the reduced footprint alternative outperforms the other alternatives. The reduced footprint alternative prioritizes the safe movement of people, including with transit and active transportation, and supports more economic development opportunities. The reduced footprint alternative will address future capacity for I-475, as well as improving vehicular safety, active transportation facilities and conditions, and roadway safety for active transportation traffic. The reduced footprint alternative improves active transportation, accessibility, and connectivity, and is favored by residents. The reduced footprint freeway alternative would update the I-475 corridor into a more urban freeway section, utilizing vertical retaining walls in lieu of the existing grassy slopes to create a narrowed footprint for I-475 from Bristol Road to the Flint River. Major elements of the reduced footprint freeway include implementation of the urban freeway section and reducing the freeway from 6 lanes to 4 lanes, reducing the frontage road lanes to meet current and future traffic needs, reducing the overall right-of-way footprint of I-475 by approximately 80 to 100 feet. The use of any excess right-of-way will be determined as the project continues through the development and environmental process. Enhancing the service drive operations. The reduced footprint freeway alternative includes the opportunity to create additional active transportation crossings, includes the opportunity to create enhanced crossings and sections of caps over the freeway. Enhanced bridges are proposed at Bristol Road, Hemphill Road, Atherton Road, Court Street, 2nd Street, and Robert T. Longway Boulevard. These are the next steps for the PEL process this year. The final LAC-BAC meetings of the PEL study phase will be held later this summer, where the team will present the acceptable alternative and review the process that led to it. And the PEL study will be finalized with the acceptable alternative in fall 2022. Following that process, the work begins to create a design and construction timeline. The anticipated next steps are outlined on this slide. They include the north segment opening for traffic in late 2025 and the middle and south segments opening for traffic in late 2027. Please note that information collected during the PEL will be used in the environmental review. We want your feedback. You can contact the project manager, Carissa McQuiston, by phone at 517-331-5992. You can email the project team at mdot-I-475@michigan.gov. You can access the PEL Study website at bit.ly/I-475, capital P, capital E, capital L. Or you can submit a comment via online comment form at bit.ly/I-475, capital C, O, M, M, E, N, T.